So we have all realized that there are human problems that never seem to go away. Human problems are always here, despite the fact that for thousands and thousands of years, human beings have tried to get rid of their problems. They've tried to find solutions to their problems, to their sicknesses, diseases, depression, death, uh, lack, hunger, uh, depression, anxiety. Humans have tried to look for solutions to these problems, and they never seem to go away. They're always there. It's about one problem after another. One problem today, and if it goes, we encounter another problem another time. So we have been trying for thousands of years to find solutions to our problems, but the problems always seem to be here with us. They never seem to go away. And it's something that we have come to accept, that we are under these conditions, these problems, these influences, the powers of these problems. So, and how come? How come that these problems never go away? How come that we never find lasting solutions to our problems? How comes that these problems are just here, to the extent that we have accepted that they are here to stay? And sometimes we have even given up on finding some solutions to some problems. So I believe the problem is found in this statement of Jesus. I mean, the solution can be found in this statement of Jesus. Jesus once said that in this world you will have tribulation. And then he says, but be of good cheer because I have overcome the world. He says, in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good comfort because I have overcome the world. I have overcome the world. So I just want to suggest this, that as long as we live in this human plane, in this human consciousness, knowing ourselves as merely humans, we will always encounter human problems. We will always have human problems because human problems can never ever go away. As long as you are a human, then the human problems will always plague you. Okay? But Jesus says that in this world you will have tribulation. You will always have tribulation. You will never get rid of tribulations. What Jesus is saying is that as long as you are living in this consciousness, in this mindset of that I am just a human being, then human problems will always be there with you. As long as you accept yourself as merely a human being, human problems will always be there with you. As long as you see yourself purely and only as a human being, then human problems will always be there in this world. And this world is the human world. In this world you will have tribulation. This is the human world. This is the human consciousness. This is the human awareness. And in the human consciousness, in the human plane, in the human awareness, problems will never ever go away. So until as long as man only knows himself as merely a man, merely a human being, he will always have human problems. Sickness and disease and death and hunger and lack and scarcity will always follow him, will always plague him. He will always live in that because that is the consciousness that he has accepted. And then the second part of that statement of Jesus says, but be of good comfort, be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world. So who is the I that has overcome the world? The I that has overcome the world is the God consciousness. It is this Christ identity. So to overcome human problem, one has to overcome and transcend and move above this human consciousness. Because when you are in the human consciousness, you will always encounter human problems. But when you transcend that and move above that into the Christ consciousness, into the I that is the Christ, then you will transcend human problems. Human problems cannot reach where the Christ is, where the I that has transcended this world is. Okay, so to live in the human consciousness means to be plagued by human problems. But to transcend the human consciousness into the Christ consciousness is to transcend human problems and everything that plagues us in the human consciousness. So the only way to get rid of the human problems is not to try to find solution in the human plane, in this world of humanity. Because in this world of humanity, there will always be problems. There will always be sickness and lack, and solutions will never be found. Lasting solutions are never found and will never be found. The only way to get rid of the human problem is to become the Christ. Okay? The only way to transcend human problems and never ever experience human problems is to know yourself as the Christ. Stop knowing yourself as merely a human being. Stop knowing yourself as a human being and begin knowing yourself as the Christ. Because in the Christ consciousness, human problems can never be found. That is the only way to get rid of all these things that plague human beings. Because a man can only receive what he holds in his consciousness. So as long as in your consciousness you know yourself only as a human being, then human problems will always follow you. But as long as you know yourself as the Christ, as the all, as life, that one which has transcended this world, you are going to escape these human problems. They cannot be found in the mindset of the Christ. In the Christ consciousness, human problems can never be found there. So in this world, you will have tribulations. But be of good cheer, because you can transcend that. You can escape that. You can stop having those tribulations by becoming the Christ, knowing yourself as the Christ, knowing yourself in that consciousness where human problems can never touch you. Okay, so there is no other way to escape human problems. That is the only way. Okay, become the Christ. And also there is a part that says that put on the mind of Christ. Okay, put on the mind of Christ. In the Bible it says put on the mind of Christ. So put on the mind of Christ means know yourself as the Christ, know yourself as life, know yourself as the all that has overcome this world. And the problems of this world will never touch you. So that is the only way to overcome human problems.